So, as I'm sure you know,
And we are in
that's in episode 9, right?
what?
The fucking metal trees that look like wooden trees.
Oh, on Mustafar? Yeah.
So in episode 9, which is the really, really shitty one,
It had its
of course,
moments. Not a lot of them, but it had its moments.
So there's like a scene where Kylo Ren's like going through a forest, like killing cultists, and of course there are like trees in the forest, and they're like, oh no. So it's on Mustafar, which is the lava planet, of course, and it's like, oh, how would you have trees on a lava planet? It's like, and they were like, oh no, they're not trees, they're metal. They just look like trees. And it's like,
yeah, that makes sense to me.
that's not for sure. Whatever.
It was like, it's like they're iron veins, but they're just shaped like that.
That's essentially was the explanation. It gets backstory in the Vader Immortal, the VR game.
You know what the funniest
Which I
part
think
is?
then they just make
Not
it
even the worst part about that fucking movie.
not a lava planet, right? That's like the
There's
thing.
the
It's like they're
worst.
like, actually, it used to not be.
Yeah, pretty much. That's for
Which
a lot
makes
of planets,
sense.
though. I mean, they do the same thing with Tatooine.
Yeah,
and then
I mean,
recanonize that idea in Book of Boba Fett.
That's like the idea, you know, like Mars, like maybe it was
Yeah.
habitable.
The
So
thing
it
that
makes sense.
I think is a big
Something.
travesty, as much as I like that opening scene with Ben, is that it was almost a more Helm's Deep-esque scene with
Yeah,
him
they
like
should have done it in Vader's castle.
fighting in the remains of Vader's castle, which
Why the fuck was there just an altar in the middle of the woods?
that would have been so fucking dope. They also got rid of the Eye of Webbish Bog, so I mean,
That's what it was there.
I don't know what that means.
essentially it was going to be this thing that Kylo went to get a prophecy, and it was like it was like a symbiotic creature. It was like this weird spindly thing that was the actual like seer that lived on top of the head of like a much bigger creature, that like its head would come out of the swamp, and then it would just be this little weird spindly creepy guy on top of it that would be like, here's your prophecy in rhyme. And I love that shit.
That's very
Star Wars.
That's very over the top.
It's very fantasy, and I love it. Anyway, so welcome back, everybody, to Galaxy RPG on Twitch. Last we left off with Songs of Arddor, which I'm now realizing I fucked up in the... There it goes. You all investigated the sewers beneath King's Crossing, and you found the makeshift orphanage run by Father Rowlett, and were
He's
attacked
a Pokemon.
by some fungal spiders.
Dude.
Yeah.
The lore channel.
I know. I'm reiterating.
You fought off some fungal spiders, and found out that one of the children down there, older than the rest, a 13-year-old girl named Kira, was not only slightly could potentially manipulate the future, but was also, as we ended it, Farah's half sister. And that's where we left off. So we're gonna pick up in that moment, but with a different character. So while Farah's on watch and having her little conversation with Kira, Thurbris, earlier in the day, I think it was actually right before you guys went to sleep, but I could be wrong. Actually, no, I think it was when you were in the temple, maybe? At some point, you had a little sit-down prayer, and you reached out to the other entity that has been kind of connecting with you, this storm entity. So you're asleep, and you're in the middle of a pretty regular dream for Thurbris, whatever that looks like, and it's that kind of thing where like you feel like
rocks,
yeah, you feel like
big rock formations.
You ever have one of those dreams where like you're already in a dream and then you feel like you've woken up from the dream, but that's just part of the dream? It's like
Not
that.
really, but I'll assume that's what that feels like.
You're inceptioning yourself, really, is what it is. You wake up, but you're not in the sewers. You're not in the little enclave. You are in what at first seems like probably the room of an inn, almost. You're surrounded by wooden walls with, like, eclectic tapestries hung up. You can smell the scents of, like, cooking meat and, like, incense. And as you approach the door to leave, you realize you're not in an inn, because there's a slight rocking to the room. And as you get close to the door, you smell a third scent, the smell of brine, and you realize you're on a boat.
You're in a pickle jar.
Yeah, you're in a big old pickle jar. You're Seth Rogen.
Pickles.
But you open the door and walk out on deck, and it's strange. The ship is moving, but you don't see any crew. You don't see anybody at the wheel. It's just you. Give me a perception roll.
Sure. Oh, no, that's not great. 17.
17? Okay. Not too bad. You look around, and at first you're like, oh, okay, I'm on the ocean. Okay, weird dream. Never really had one of these before, but okay. But as you're looking around, you start to pick out some oddities in the, like, landscape. Like, you can see some, like, what looks like an island jutting out nearby. But then you look at it closer, and it's not an island. It looks almost like the tops of a mountain. And then you see, while you've never seen it in person, only in, like, books and illustrations, what is very obviously the top, like, maybe 100 feet of the lodestone spire poking up out of the water. Then it hits you. You're still in Dernos. Dernos is just underwater.
Oh.
And as you're kind of looking around at this, you feel another presence, and, like, you're kind of, like, gripping the railing of the boat, and another figure just steps up next to you, much calmer, puts their hands on the railing and just kind of, like, looks out. They're wearing like, very simple, like, almost like vagrants clothes, and this, like, tattered black hooded cloak that they have on with the hood up that's just kind of billowing in the sea breeze. Don't say anything. They just step up next to you, and it's like they're, like, longingly looking out at sea.
Okay. I'm gonna from a distance ask who they are.
Okay.
Am I, like, wearing my normal gear and stuff, or am I, like, in my pajamas, or what's?
You're in, like, the best way I could describe it is you're essentially in whatever Thurber's like, camp clothes are.
Got it.
You still have, like your holy symbol of Spira around your neck. And you probably have, like, a dagger or something on you, like something to stay armed, but not, like, your full kit. But other than that, like, pants and a shirt.
Okay.
And as you ask that, they turn to you. And you've seen this figure before. You see beneath the hood, they have, like, their face is very gaunt, and they have, like, pale, almost gray skin, but they have, like, this deep black goatee. And the difference being, other than the clothes, the last time you saw this figure, they had their eyes glowed like a sickly, like, sea green. You recognize this is Bolga, one of the fallen. But now his eyes are glowing like a pale blue, and they're crackling almost off the side with, like, little sparks of, like, electricity. And as he turns to you, he extends his hand, and he's like, Thurber's Steelgrace, it's good to finally meet you.
It's like a handshake, extending hand, right?
Yeah,
Not like
yeah.
a mean expanding hand.
No, he's not Kylo Renning you.
Okay. Let me decide. I don't know what I want to do.
I want to get back and talk to my sister.
I'll shake his hand,
Okay.
but sort of standoffishly, I'm gonna pull my hand back.
Okay. As soon as you like grasp his hand, there's that similar like static charged kind of feeling in the air.
Mhm.
And he takes a look around, like he breaks eye contact with you to like look back out to sea,
Mhm.
and says, "Dark times are coming. Corruption is encroaching on your domain.
Corruption from what?
The void.
I think I've seen that. I only vaguely remember what I remember. I only vaguely remember what I saw in my last void dream.
Yeah.
But it was just sort of feelings, right?
Yeah, you had like a brief like glimpse.
Well, didn't he have like a Doctor Strange type vision where he's
Yeah.
like being pulled?
It was when you tried to like consecrate
Oh, the oil.
the well, it wasn't the oil. It was the like weird like almost holy symbol in the bottom of the basin that had the black
Uh-huh.
obsidian in the center that you tried to consecrate, and it pulled you out like your like spirit through like out of the mortal realm, through the Fey realm, and into the void.
Right. Okay. I've seen this. I've seen some signs of that.
I wish to extend my aid to your cause.
Are we taught that the fallen are like bad, sort
Pretty
of
much.
inherently?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
In return for what? Why would you help me? I ask.
Because you can help me.
Help how?
I seek what all who have made mistakes seek. Redemption.
Big
Can I
booty
insight
Latinas.
What was that?
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
That's even worse. 10.
Okay. I will say actually take advantage on that one.
He wants you to know that he's trustworthy.
Okay, well, instead of a 2, I rolled a 5, so 13.
13. Yeah, I mean he's it's hard to read. I mean you are talking to a celestial, so
Okay. And how would a mortal help you achieve redemption?
you have standing amongst your people, at least amongst the council, and you are building a reputation. You speak my good graces. He turns to you, like this whole time that he's been talking to you, he's been kind of talking to you while looking out to sea. He now turns like to meet your like eye contact. I make no reservations. I do not believe that the faith will accept me with open arms. But if there are a few who whisper my name in good tidings, that is enough for me.
fuck this guy.
I'll sign no contracts. I will make no deals, but I'm like, I don't know. Essentially, I want to say, like, I feel like it's more on you to. I'm not gonna go out and preach, the word of Golda or whatever. But if he proves his, I don't know, if somehow he can prove his own kindness, goodness, or whatever, then I will be more inclined to take his word. Essentially,
he kind of reads that in your expression and says, "You need a sign of good faith. I understand. I know my reputation precedes me. There is a shrine in the sewers here in King's Crossing. A shrine that was once dedicated to me. The fungal arachnids have made it their nest. Burn their corruption away, and then speak my name, and place your hammer within the pool there, and you will have your sign."
Okay.
What did I miss?
So he wants me to essentially spread his good word because he wants redemption. And I ask essentially for a sign of good faith, and he says, in the sewer there is a shrine that used to be to him. Like spread the word, his word, or whatever. Like, be his missionary, I guess.
How does that prove that it's in good faith? Just because he has a
Yeah,
shrine?
I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna tell him that.
Wait, and then he said,
There is a shrine in the sewer that used to be to him, and it is now the nest of the rapids.
That just sounds like a guy who's trying to pull a fast one.
I know. Well, I mean, I would clear out the shrine anyway because they seem like sort of abominations against nature anyway.
But just don't touch his altar.
I don't know about the whole. And then, sorry, what was the last instruction?
Essentially, like once you've burned the nest, there's and he even kind of like beams like a vision of this shrine itself to you, though it seems like the vision he sends you is more like in its heyday.
That's
and it's not big. It looks like a very small shrine, but it has like a what looks like maybe like a 2 to 3 foot deep, like almost like reflecting pool in the center.
Like a cult's shrine.
And he said to, once you've like burned the nest, to speak his name and place your hammer in the pool, and you will receive your sign. And
can I insight check again?
Sure. I will say, what is your this is a weird passive to ask for. What is your passive religion?
My passive religion is 15.
15?
Yes,
you do
15.
remember that when you came into King's Crossing, which is supposed to be like an old like Arenian fort from back when the Empire expanded this far, that the keystone above the gate showed the design of like fire.
I do remember that.
That it's weird that there's like this like almost clandestine underground shrine to the Archon of Water in what seems to be a fort, or what used to be a fort.
He's also asking you to burn away the corruption, which is, I think, a weird thing. Again, Archon of Storms and Water Glass. I don't trust him, but I would probably purge the spiders anyway. Who was the priest of Spira again? They were upstairs.
Father Rowlett.
In the actual.
No, it's Father Rowlett.
Right. Oh, that is Father Rowlett.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably speak to him about this. How old was he?
Not
He's
too
younger
old.
than I am.
Probably like mid-40s.
He's a human.
Yeah.
Aren't they all?
Um.
And what was your insight roll?
Sorry, I hadn't done it. Did you want? Could I do that with advantage or just
Yes.
plain?
And now doing this the second time, you feel like obviously advantage is a game term.
Yeah.
You feel like your senses, or at least some of your senses, are heightened here because it is almost like a shared space of your
Oh,
domain.
like it's in my head,
Well,
essentially.
more so that like this vision has been created through his power, yes, but that power is almost shared with your deity.
Okay. With my deity. Okay. I got this time on insight at 24.
24. Okay.
Yes.
He seems sincere. Like you sense a deep sadness in him. Like
That means he's a really good liar.
like there are various there's a definite like shades of like he's an intimidating figure. Like he's not
Yeah.
like he's
Let me
doing
get
his
literal.
like he's very much trying to project a sense of strength, but there's definitely like he keeps like looking out to the ocean, to like what is very obviously flooded Dernos, with like sadness, which if he were big bad spooky evil god of water, like it's
like water.
yeah, he would look out at the world being flooded and be like, dope.
Interesting.
Who's just sad for? I feel for him.
And the
Maybe
point I was trying to make
had-
with the religion role, like it seems like
Yeah.
his wording of like burn the corruption is more so because it is like the spiders are fungal in
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah.
It is strange that there is this such like a covert like these sewers are original to the fort, like they were
Yeah.
old like Aramean design, that there is a covert shrine to the Archon of Water in a fort dedicated like you would know from like history teachings and stuff like that, like army generals and stuff like that would have these forts constructed always had like a patron Archon, which would make sense
Mhm.
with the keystone, but the keystone is bearing the symbol of the Archon of Fire.
Who is that again?
Svanger.
Who's not one of the fallen?
He is one of the fallen. All the four archons. The four archons are
Oh,
the fallen.
okay.
Yeah, the archons is just what they were
Okay.
called by the Arenians.
I'll pretty much tell him, I'll see what I can do. But I make no guarantees.
That is all I ask. Just be mindful of this growing darkness. It can consume things that losing them means everything. And as he says that, he kind of like brushes the cloak aside. Like he's had the cloak kind of covering the left side of his body this whole time. As he shakes it aside, you see that his left arm, from the shoulder down, it has been replaced by like almost like skeletal clawed arm made of pure obsidian. And you
Does it look similar to the weird obsidian growths on the Hun?
yes,
The dragon?
absolutely, and you recognize that like the left arm is the same arm that you have your scar on.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. I couldn't remember which arm it was on. Speaking of which, my scar isn't worse or pulsing or
No.
leaking ooze or anything. Okay. Is there a way that I can like essentially wake myself up?
Yeah, like
I don't really have much else to do.
as he kind of turns back to the railing to look out to sea, you turn and you see the door you kind of ascended to come up from below deck. The door itself is open, but it's just like within is just like bright light.
Yeah,
Go into the light.
I'll go into the light.
Okay.
Take it care.
2 in a row. You walk into the light, and Farah, as you kind of had this bombshell just dropped on you, in the background, Thurbrus just kind of like bolt upright wakes up in the middle of the room.
I turn my head really slowly and just stare at Farah just to creep her out. What time is it? Like, middle of the night.
At this point,
She's gonna feel.
I think Farah was kind of middle shift, so yeah, it's probably like maybe like 1 a.m.
We also came into the cavern or the sewer pretty late. Okay. I would like to talk to Father Rowlett, but I'll wait until everybody's awake.
Okay.
No sense in doing it right now. I'll get back to sleep.
Okay.
I'll quickly though grab my amulet. Or actually, I think technically my holy symbol is my hammer. And I'll give a quick little, like, 2-sentence prayer or whatever portion of that. Sometimes.
Okay.
To spirit, specifically to my normal patron.
Okay. As you like lay back down, the room gets just a little bit warmer. And you feel very briefly, almost as if like someone had just kissed your forehead right before you fall asleep.
It's the priest from the other one. He came.
He snuck through that hole in the ceiling.
Tender kiss on the forehead. Okay. Thurbrus probably snores pretty loud.
Oh, absolutely.
I would think rocks.
Just picking up. You always carry a pouch full of little pebbles that you try and throw in his open mouth. He likes rocks so much. Goodfellow.
Yes.
You're asleep. What is a dream normally like for Goodfellow?
It's like a Ren and Stimpy episode, probably, in his head. Just the entire time. That's all I can think of.
Okay.
I can't imagine it would be anything better than that.
Okay. So you're going about your usual escapades in Dreamland.
Yep.
Would it be here or would it be home?
It's on and off, depending on how he's feeling. We'll say of home this time.
Okay. So you're having your little escapades. You're deep within this forest of it's such a weird juxtaposition because all of the trunks of the trees are like very twisting and almost like haunted woods-esque. But all of the leaves are very like bright and colorful. And you reach
As they tend to be.
like the main tree of the village, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's this like huge, like thick like a California redwood, like this massive tree, with these mixture of like purple and blue leaves, and you see like covered wagons, and it's like almost like a carnival has been kind of built, like think like almost like Lothlorien, but it's all been like it's got like the striped like canvas roofed like tents almost, and there are little children running around. There are older like hobgoblins moving throughout the trees, going about like farm work, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of like turn around, like, and kind of bask it all in. As you're rotating, it begins to morph. And now the trees around you are on fire. And standing up on one of the upper platforms of the central tree, you see what is very obviously like either a bugbear or at least a hobgoblin that's getting close to like bugbear size, like he's getting ready to molt. And in each hand he has a fistful of chains, and you see the chains drift down the tree, and you see now all of the children and all of the farm hands bound in collars and chained. And then you wake up. Eduardo, to answer your question, Malhaleni is Malhala is, or Malhella is in, if you look at the map where the bulwark ends on the like eastern side, there is the Crescent Moon Mountains. In there, there was, like, right after the War of Shadows, a group of elves, gnomes, and dwarves traveled into, like, the war-ravaged lands that used to be occupied by the Aramean Empire in an effort to, like, help rebuild and stuff like that. And some of them found, like, this deep cavern network in the Crescent Moon Mountains. And so they started to build up a settlement there, and that just expanded into what is now Malhella. And that initial expedition is what eventually became the Dark Elves, the Deep Gnomes, and the Dwergar. And it's essentially like it is a functioning like metropolis down there, but it's almost like Blackreach in Skyrim, to where it's like nobody really knows how far, like how expansive it is. They just know that there's this like metropolis beneath the mountain.
For reference to our viewers, I was like, shouldn't Thurberus know more than just Common and Dwarven? And so I totally haven't had two languages that I get from being a courtier background. So I need to have two more languages than I have. Is Ancient Jotnar essentially Celestial?
No. So
It's giant.
yeah, so it is like, it's kind of like knowing Latin for the dwarves.
Okay.
Because
I probably would.
like Dwarven and Giantish, both as languages both descend from Ancient Jotnar. Though Celestial is usually written in Jotnar script, which Dwarven is also written in. So
I know that. Which other ones are in Dwarven script?
Malhaleni can be in Dwarven or Elvish. It's like universal language.
No, because the Shield Maidens were up in the north in that area too, right? I probably had some Malhaleni. They're on the coast beyond the mountains to the northern end of the bulwark. Okay, then I'll pick that one in Ancient Jotnar.
Okay. But yeah, Goodfellow, you wake up from your dream, and it's getting about the time that you would kind of swap out with Farah. Farah, you've just had this bomb just dropped in your lap casually by this 13-year-old girl. So yeah, she's just sitting. You both are sitting like crisscross applesauce on the ground in this stone chamber, sharing sweetbread and little tin mugs of what tastes very much like mulled wine. As she has just revealed to you, her father used to call himself, or as far as she knows, used to call himself the Prince of Merchants.
Wait, did you say the Prince of Merchants?
Yes.
I think she said the Prince of Merchants.
That's me talking to Kira.
Yeah, I figured. Yes. Why? Just did he? he didn't con your family too, did he?
Well,
I mean, in a certain sense.
Well, his name's Severin, right?
My mother never really knew his name. They met on the road, and she had just a stopover in a port city, and apparently they were drinking, and he was very charming.
Wait, so that's not that bad. So he's not like he's not a dine and dash dad. He's
He
just
wasn't
kinda
there in
like-
the morning, so
Yeah, but like he wasn't committed in any way. They understood what was going on. She took the risks.
I think for a little bit. My father was known as the Prince of Merchants also. So that's odd.
she's like, yeah, it can't be a very common nickname. And then as she's like, kind of like jokingly saying that, you see the realization hit, and she's like, and downs the rest of the mulled wine.
I follow her and I down the rest of mine.
Is Goodfellow awake?
Yes, you are kind of heading over as you see Feyre drinking something, which as you get closer definitely smells alcoholic, with this 13-year-old girl.
That's highly inappropriate. I'm gonna walk over and go, did someone say the Prince of Merchants?
Yes, the Prince of Merchants.
My father went by the name the Prince of Merchants.
No way.
Yeah.
You're lying.
No.
Feyre, give me an insight roll, and Goodfellow, you can roll persuasion or deception, whichever one is the most fitting.
I want to. I have an 18.
I got a 7.
He is
what did
absolutely telling you the truth.
What did Kira get?
That's a good point. Kira should roll too. Hold on. Let me pull up her. I don't think her insight is very
I
high.
have too many goddamn siblings.
Well, you're too ugly to be our sibling, so.
Also,
That's fucked up.
Not like a half-dwarf, he's a dwarf.
Maybe
How
maybe
could I
that's
believe that? I'm not that stupid.
So
maybe
I
that's
was
why
not.
changed her personality.
I was wrong. Her insight is pretty good. She has a +7 to insight. But she also rolled a natural 1, so that's an 8. So it makes sense. She's just downed a lot of alcohol, and she's 13. So at this point, she just kind of like it looks like she's almost gonna vomit, and then it's like, I need some air, and just kind of steps over into a far corner, like leans against the wall, and is very obviously like hyperventilating.
About that ugly.
Again, he is a dwarf, not a half-elf.
Yeah. Well, I'm disguising myself, so you don't know. I'm disguising
Tyler.
Maybe when I'm not drinking and it's the morning time, I'll come to realize that.
Tyler, I'm not sure if it's just for us, but your camera is just loading.
It's just you. I see Tyler.
Okay. Okay, was don't. Okay, yeah. I don't know why it was. It just like had the loading something. Okay. Continue.
I will.
Maybe Goodfellow's just that ugly because he's actually half human.
Yeah.
I suppose that for now I believe it, but in the morning I might change my mind.
You will not.
But I'm gonna.
Watch.
Ooh, no, I'm not.
I'm fine. That's actually a very good point because give me a Constitution saving throw. It wasn't a lot of wine, so it's not a high DC, but
19.
19? Yeah, you're fine. You feel a little bit of a buzz, but you're not, like... You're not shit-faced like Favor's gotten before.
That's true. Okay, well, I guess I'll get a little cup of water and bring it over to Kira and just let her know that, she can take as much time as she needs.
Okay.
That we can talk to her in the morning. And then I'm gonna go to bed.
You go and find your spot to sleep. You see Kira does the same, though you do very obviously notice that, like, while she's, like, laid down in the bed, she's kind of just, like, staring up at the ceiling.
Oh, God.
Lot thrown at a 13-year-old, no matter how powerful she is in a fight. But everything goes without a hitch. The Enclave does not get attacked in the night. And you all wake up the next morning with a long rest. You all are healed. You've got your spell slots back. And whatever truths and stuff. Yes, you are still level 5.
Well, it's more asking because I know that we're going to have to level up for our next thing, or rather when we go back to Curse of Straw. But I don't know if I need to level up my character now because he might be dead.
Well, he's definitely dead. It's whether he's coming back is the issue.
Yeah, that's the
He comes back as a Dampier, so he just comes back with long white hair for some reason, and red, well, he already had red eyes, and just sharper teeth.
I was going to say his teeth are shorter, and only 2 of them are sharp.
And also, he talks like Tim Curry for some reason. I'm a lizard, darling. So, Thurberus, you're going to talk to Father Rowlett?
Yes, I would like to seek guidance.
Okay.
Though I should probably decide how much I want to tell him, because...
That's a very good thing to decide.
You do see he seems like a nice, trustworthy guy.
Yeah, see, as you walk over to him, he's, like, helping the children kind of pack up their things, and... I
don't think he can get me excommunicated or anything either, so I don't think I need to worry about that. But you never know.
Thurberus, that's a sin.
He took his hair off. It was actually a wig, and underneath it is a giant poke hat. Yeah, so I would be like, hey, could we speak in private for a moment?
He finishes, like, tightening the straps on, like, a little, like, backpack for one of the kids.
He finishes tightening the straps, you say?
And he's like, go along, children, go wait by the door. And he leaves you guys kind of by yourselves in, like, this corner of the room. What is it?
Put you in the corner.
I lean in for a kiss.
Thurberus is just gonna fuck his way through the church.
I had a vision last night. Oh, I was about to make a really bad joke. Dude, all of the priests like me because I'm a, small man.
That is really bad.
I'm with a beard, to be fair, but a little bit. I had a vision.
To be fair, they have a beard as well.
Yeah, a vision of Bolga, the fallen. I'll at the same time I'll start rolling up my sleeve to show him my
your rippling biceps
thing. What'd you say?
I said your rippling bicep.
Yeah. Oh, look at this scar.
And then he just starts grabbing it.
That's what the last priest did. You say that, and it's immediately that kind of thing of, like, you're putting a lot on me first thing in the morning. He's like, oh, right, a vision of Bolga, one of the 4 devils, right?
Exactly, which is why I seek your guidance.
Well, give me the context.
I'll essentially tell him he seemed sincere in wanting redemption, and that there is a shrine that is currently the nest of these spiders. And no, I'll tell him the whole thing. I would like to clear out the spiders, but Olga also asked that I do the whole, walk into the water and say my name 3 times and, whatever.
Yeah,
But
showtime.
that obviously, I have my reservations on doing that, but that he seems sincere, but,
So you kind of lay this out for him, and he kind of, as you're telling the story, kind of starts pacing a bit. And then he sits down on the edge of the bed, kind of, he's still like holding the spear that he carries. And then he sighs and looks up at you and he goes,
right in the throat.
I cannot rightly tell you what you should or should not do. Only the light of the Nine can guide you.
That's a good point.
I will say that our patron mother does preach forgiveness. Whether that extends to someone with crimes as much as Bolga, I don't know, but...
What did the Fallen do exactly?
Essentially, they were of the host of the Arddor that showed up to kind of fight back the Jotnar. And while the Arddor stayed for a couple weeks to like feast and celebrate with the mortals and everything, they then went to return to their home realm of Andaheim. And it is said that the Four Fallen did not want to relinquish like worldly worship. Like, they liked the idea of being able to be there and, like, be waited on hand and foot by their subjects and stuff like that. They wanted to essentially live as god kings. And that, so they fled east into Aremia, which wasn't an empire yet, and kind of took up station there and built it into an empire and started conquering lands and enslaving people.
Right.
And then the Arddor found out that because one of the reasons that the Arddor showed up in the first place to fight the Jotnar is because they were using a void scroll. And that they destroyed the
void plague, whatever it's called.
Yeah, they destroyed the bridge that the Jotnar were trying to build, but they never recovered the void scroll. And so the church believes that the Void Scroll that then it was found out that the Archons were using, that the Fallen were using, is the same Void Scroll. That one of them took it and hid it away when they assaulted the Jotnar's like last fortress, and that they started using it to like help build up this empire. And like it was from that scroll that like they learned how to do the summoning rituals to like bind goblin queens to their will, right, and created the fiendish goblins and stuff like that. And a lot of that was under the purview supposedly of Noldor, who is like the Fallen, whose whole thing is like profane arcana and like ritualistic madness and stuff like that.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna sit on that.
I will say, I mean, with
I'm probably
with your religion being, do you also have proficiency in religion?
Proficiency, not expertise.
Okay. With your proficiency being the level that it's at, and it being religion being proficiency for you, you do know that there's not a lot of like quantitative like there's not a lot of stories of like, oh yeah, and Bolga did this during the war. Like, there's a lot of that for like Noldor, and there's a lot of it for Svanger.
The journal that Thrandir stole, that had like the whole thing about how what did it have in it? It like had oh, this is not how it seems, and
Yes.
everyone's sort of being
It-
lied
it
to, but I don't
seemed-
remember about what.
It seemed to you that it was hinting at the established origin story for the elven people is not as accurate as it seems.
Okay. So we're all. I'm okay. I would
To be fair,
hesitant.
this guy is basically just Aquaman. So like, what bad could he really be doing?
Well, that's the
Throwing
thing with
plastic rings back out of the ocean.
well, it's his thing isn't just the sea. He's the Lord of Storms, and like you would think like the capital of the Iranian Empire was an island. Like they were a naval power. But just give me a basic history roll.
Well, he hasn't told me this. I'm speaking
No.
out of character.
I was asking for
No,
Cerberus to make it.
I was confused.
24.
24. Going off of that thought that you don't, there's not a lot of stories of Bolga's exploits during the war. You start to think about it, and there are a lot of documented naval defeats on the Iranian side.
Okay.
Like they were a naval power until the war started, and then they started getting their asses kicked.
Interesting. All right. I'll sit on that for a little bit then, and we'll go about our day. I will tell the group that I have seen a vision of the nest of these spiders, and that it would definitely help the orphanage. I'm not going to mention the whole other bit about, being a prophet and all that.
Okay. And so you guys are going to. Are you guys going to help, escort Father Rowlett and the children to the next enclave? Because the way he explained it to you guys is he has multiple of these little safe house rooms within the
We're gonna keep
sewers.
Small children.
Yes, it's not a good look by today's standard, but everything you've seen, he seems to be on the up and up.
Okay. Epstein.
Wow.
Yeah, I would definitely escort them.
Okay.
You can't say those words about children. You can't escort children.
So you guys travel with Father Rowlett through these tunnels, and you see that he does have these markings that you had seen previously to help navigate to the next safe house. And you eventually reach a very similar stone archway that is old, filled in with a much newer metal door. And as he kind of ushers the children in, he does an initial steps in himself and does a sweep of the room to make sure it's all good, even though the door is locked when you guys get there. But then he starts ushering the children in, and he's like, if you need sanctuary and any assistance that I can offer, you know where to find me. During the day, I'm at the church, but most nights I'm down here with the children.
Fighting crime in a bat suit.
He puts on his cleric man mask. Never get to see you guys.
What was that?
That was an alarm. As you guys go to leave to continue on to search for this shrine, I'm assuming, Kira does not enter the.
Wait, I was gonna say, did Kira come with us?
Kira waits for all the children to enter the enclave and then stays out, and is like, if you all don't mind, I'd like to stick with you three, if that's all right.
Sure. I don't know about the whole sibling thing. Sure.
I would like to have you accompany us.
Just a kid, but be careful.
I can
She
handle
seemed to do a
myself.
good
Thank
enough
you.
job last time.
So, who is helming this search for the shrine?
I probably will because I have a shield and also I have visions.
Okay.
High and mighty.
He's got the power of God and anime on his side.
It's high and mighty until you realize he's schizophrenic. He was not speaking to a devil besides his own.
Okay, so give me a survival roll.
Can I get help with that? Thanks, you guys.
I'll help you. I'll help you with my genius knowledge.
I don't have guidance.
Well, it was more, can I get the help action
Oh.
in looking for... they didn't have a map, did they?
No, you didn't.
He gave you like a rough map of the sewers, yeah. And he has
rough
the only
map.
thing that's really marked on there, though, is the 4 enclaves that he has, these like small safe rooms, and then like any like collapsed tunnels that he has come across.
Okay.
And we're going...
11.
What was that?
11.
11. Okay. So it's gonna take you some time. You will get there, but it's a lot of like, you go down this tunnel, you follow it till its end, and then you're like, this isn't the right way. This is a dead end, or this is just, it all leads to like one of those
I'll
big.
keep updating the map as well.
Okay, one of those like big pit cisterns. But eventually, after like, I'll actually roll a dice for it, because that's what D&D's all about, baby. Of course, I'm trying to get my D4 out, and I dump the little jar, and the D4 is the only thing that doesn't come out, which I guess made it easy to grab, but at what cost? It takes you 3 hours. So it's about, you guys probably would have woken up like 8 a.m. probably. So it's getting close to noon when the you come across a strange, like you see, you start seeing like webbing in the corners of the ceiling and stuff that upon close inspection isn't like actual spider silk. It's like fungal mycelium.
Yeah, I was about to say that would be pretty cool if it were mycelium.
And it all kind of leads you to this section of wall that, like, on the map, it's just the wall of a tunnel. But you can see where a bit of that mycelium has gotten, like, pretty much the rest of it is just completely flush with the rest of the wall. It's gotten kind of stuck into the wall. And you put 2 and 2 together, there's probably a hidden door here.
Good thing I have my Stone Shaper gloves.
Go for it.
I use my Stone Shaper gloves.
Okay. So you use Stone Shape, and you get rid of this blockage. And there is a much more well-kept looking tunnel. Like, still old.
No, there's no limits on how many times I can use the gloves, right? And you said they're not attuned?
They're not attuned, and Stone Shape is a cantrip.
Okay.
So you see the tunnel is still very old, still kind of decrepit, but it's not as like falling apart as the rest of it. It looks like where the rest of it has faced decay and stuff because it was at one point an active sewer, and there was that like latent moisture. It looks like this hasn't faced as much of that element. Who is leading the marching order here?
Oh, this guy is, because he's a little freak.
Again, still probably me.
Okay. So you move your way down this tunnel, and it's not very long. It's probably like 15, 20 feet. And you reach a small, probably 20 foot by 20 foot antechamber. It's a square room with a like circular pool, like a 5 foot diameter circular pool in the center. above which, from the ceiling, dangles like a metal chandelier with like these little stubby candles that they emit like a very dull blue glow, and that's the only light in the chamber. So the whole chamber is bathed in this like eerie kind of blue glow from the candles, then reflecting off of the water. And in the corners of the room, you see like this fungal growth. You don't see any spiders, but you do see these like fleshy like bulbs that are kind of growing out of the fungal mass.
Another fetus sac. Also, point of order: stone shape is a 4th level transmutation. Mold earth is a cantrip.
Mold earth, that's what it is.
They're called stone single gloves. Is why I said stone shape.
But yeah, so you see these bulbs, and as you kind of stand there for a moment waiting for something to kind of jump out, you do notice that the bulbs are just ever faintly getting bigger as you stand there.
Yeah, let's not have that. I'm gonna go up to it and... I mean, is there like a fetus inside of it or something? Like, is that see-through?
As you get close, do you have any kind of light source you're using, or are you just relying on the on your helm?
I wouldn't be carrying a light source. I've got a shield and a weapon, and I'm, following my visions and etc.
So, just looking at it with only the aid of your helmet, it's hard to see. It looks like the skin might be like slightly translucent, but in the current lighting, you can't see anything.
Is that the only entrance into the room?
Yeah, it's only got the
When
one
it
entrance.
came from?
Which you recognize, Feyre, like you immediately are like, something is opening this tunnel for them then. Because these spiders probably don't know mold earth.
I'm gonna cast Shillelagh and Bless on the 3 of us.
Okay.
Not Kira? Wait.
Oh, she is with us, isn't she? Whatever. I'll cast the level 2 Bless and cast it on the 4 of us.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm nice.
He nice like that.
And that's attacks and saving throws,
and
right?
then promptly after that, I'm gonna bring my hammer down on the fucking sack.
Okay. You strike the sack with the hammer, and
One sack, or there are multiple?
there are multiple. They're like the whole like every corner of the room has like this fungal growth, and you see that some of them even have like multiple, like they're at varying different sizes, but each one has at least one of these kind of growing like fleshy bulbs.
I don't think mechanically it's gonna do anything, but actually, can I do a little Word of Radiance, which is my little AoE radiant thing, cantrip?
Sure.
That instead of bringing my hammer down.
They insta-fail the save, and you see the bulb itself doesn't seem to take any damage, but you do see a bright glow within the bulb in the vague shape of a spider, as something like it lights up, and then you see its legs kind of shrivel, and then the sack kind of deflates, and you wait a second, and then it ever so slightly twitches and starts to refill.
I think we should probably... I don't think I have access to fire. I don't.
My dude coming down here without a tinderbox.
I don't think I have a tinderbox because I took a priest pack. So if you want, I have a censer and some incense. But
Yeah, Feyre goes around, starts lighting the fungus on fire, and Thurbrus just walks around with the censer like.
No, I feel like because if you keep cutting these sacks off, they're just going to regenerate if the fungi is still there.
That is a good point. Yeah, let's start setting fire to shit. Do you have more than one torch? Do you want to pass torches out to the group?
Yeah,
Do you
I'll
have
use
torches for everybody?
2. I have 10 torches, so I'll use 4.
I have a Dungeoneer's pack, so I should have torches too.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't get one of my torches. You have your own torch. So I'll hand out.
YOT.
So you hand out torches.
I'll hand one out to Cerberus, and I'll hand one out to Kira.
You hand out the torches, and you guys start lighting up this fungal growth, and it like catches quickly, to the point that
That's cool. Work's done.
within a few moments, you all are kind of gathered close to the center of the room, as like the edges of the room are just alight with bright orange yellow fire. And as it eventually dies down, there's no more fungus.
Oh,
Is
well.
there no more fungus, or
What was that?
What does the room look like now?
The room,
genuinely no?
you don't see, like, it has cleared them out. It seems, anybody who wants to can make either a nature or an arcana roll.
I'll do one.
Goodfellow, you would have advantage on this.
You said nature or arcana?
Yes.
Good thing I have advantage. Because I rolled a 1. 8.
Okay.
I have a 0 in both.
She also rolled a 1. I got 19 though.
19?
For nature specifically. 19 for nature.
I got a 2 for nature.
Okay. Yeah, you don't. All you know is that the fungus burn good.
That's all you need to know.
Thurber's,
Exactly.
in conjunction with you trying to smash it and it seeming to grow back, you would put good money on the fact that there's a limited amount of spiders that can be active at one time, but when they die, they just reconstitute here. It's essentially like a spawn room.
Okay.
How'd you deduce that? Does he just
Dude, I
know
know about nature, alright? Don't stop and ask any questions.
Alright, I didn't know. Alright, but this is a little different than nature. If I kill a spider in real life, it doesn't reconstitute elsewhere.
No spiders spawn in the room, right?
No. It seems like you caught them before they could finish reconstituting themselves.
Has the torch changed at all? The chandelier?
The chandelier? No.
Are there any other doors or loose-looking passages that stop
You
you?
should say your name 3 times, take your hammer, and go in.
Is there water and a shrine?
Yeah, like I said, the chandelier is right above a 5-foot diameter circular pool filled with water. And despite the fact of how old all of this kind of stuff looks, the water does not look stagnant. It looks like clean.
Did you tell us
Let me
about
take a
the?
Let me take a sip of that
Stop
water.
licking the damn thing.
Okay, you're taking a sip of the water.
Take a sip of water.
Okay, it's salt water. It tastes briny like seawater.
Edward, did you tell us who? No.
I told you that I was given a vision of the room.
Okay.
I will say now that the fungus is kind of burned away, it's still kind of hard to see in the like low light of the chandelier, but you do see that the walls are kind of carved with like sea motifs with like oceans and stuff like that. And on the back wall, directly across from the door, there is a artistic depiction of a figure, which. What's everybody's passive religion? I know Thurber's is 15.
10.
11.
11. Okay, so you would all recognize. It's something that's in like history books beyond just religious texts. The figure on the back wall is Bolga, but it's Bolga before the fall. You know all artistic depictions of Bolga after.
Is this Volka's shrine?
I'm gonna go up to the water and I don't know, some kind of religion or like again, a la the same thing that I did when I was trying to consecrate the basin or whatever. I'm gonna like just channel my magic through it
Okay.
and see what.
The
Just give
fallen
me-
basically condemned my people, right? Technically.
A good portion of them, yeah.
Okay.
So, Thurber's, give me a wisdom saving throw.
There is no forgiveness here.
I'm assuming it's been a minute since I've cast Bless, right?
Yes, yes.
18.
18? Okay. So you step forward, and as you, like, kneel down to touch the water, you do see, like, for the briefest moment, so much so that it might even just been a trick of the, like, low light in the room, what appeared to be two figures standing behind you, one over each shoulder. One with glowing eyes that are like warm, like a hearth fire, and the other bright blue, crackling with lightning. But you like kind of just tap the very surface of the water with a finger, and you see it kind of ripple out. And when you tap, there is like this brief spark. Almost like if you've ever seen like when you've like gotten like static shocked by like a blanket or something in the dark, and you can see the static discharge. It's almost like that. Like it's almost imperceptible.
Okay. Good thing I have a 20 passive perception, so I perceive it. That's for sure. The figures behind me, I'm not getting any specific feelings other than warmth and brine.
It's not even a feeling. Like you see them like right as you kneel down, and it's like a split second you see them, and then like you blink and it's just you in the reflection.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Do I abandon my god? Well, I'm not abandoning my god. She hasn't like given me any reason to not do anything.
That has been another thing in the favor of Bolga. Spira has not like every
Like,
time.
hey, that's brother. Don't fucking do that.
Yeah, every time they've both shown up in a vision to you, every time they've both shown up in a vision to you, it's been like they were in equal standing.
Okay. Sorry, there were gods. Don't do that. There were gods that were siblings, right?
Yeah.
Was it those two?
Spira and Bolga
Okay.
were both siblings. The two that the ones that are known for sure, Spira and Bolga were siblings, and Skina and Lomi, the
Okay.
god and goddesses.
Fire.
Yes, Lomi is he's the god of the sun. He also married into the Fae.
I'm gonna do what I was told to do,
Okay.
and I'm gonna step into the fountain and, whatever, do a backflip or whatever he asks
Okay.
me to do.
When you speak Bolga's name, do you speak it in common or?
He didn't ask for anything specific, so it's gonna be common from me.
Okay.
I wouldn't know if he had like, you know how Lord of the Rings is like a translation or whatever. There's not any like Volga's not like a translation into common from something else, is it?
No, that is his.
Like
that is his given.
Jesus' name is Joshua. Or something
No,
like
that is his. That's the thing. Is when they first came to Darnos, the Arddor did not speak physically. They because
Right.
they'd only ever been around each other. They spoke telepathically, and so
Yeah, just common though.
mortals taught them speech. That is why their names are like ancient dwarven in origin, because they were the first people that they interacted with.
Yep.
Okay. So you speak his name and you gently place your hammer into the pool. Do you let go, or do you remain holding it? The pool's not deep. It's like 3
Did he-
feet at its deepest
Did he
point.
tell me to let go of my hammer?
What was that?
Did he tell me to let go of my hammer?
Yeah, he just said to place your hammer in the pool. which is kind of vague in its description.
Yeah, I probably would. Well, I would have. I probably waterproof my boots. We are on the road a lot. I would probably step into it, or at least close enough where I can like have the head of my hammer and put it down, and still hold like the very end of the handle.
Okay.
But, like the head is underwater, along, on the ground.
So you hold the hammer out, head down, and you kind of like loosen your grip enough that it slides down. And once the head of the hammer contacts the bottom of the pool, you see it spider webs out with electricity. And that spider web continues up and out of the pool to the point it's almost like one of those Tesla balls. So now you are within a ring of crackling electricity.
Everybody else sees this, right?
Oh yeah.
No, what the fuck is that?
It then coalesces to the chandelier, which has like a single point that like is in the center of it, and then kind of like lightning rods it down directly into the handle of your hammer. No, what were you gonna say?
Wait, have you ever seen Castle in the Sky?
Not in a very long time.
Well, there's the one scene in Castle in the Sky where like whatever Muska, the bad guy, is like trying to set the laser thing with the sky, the castle that's in the sky, and it like forms a ring from the different spikes that are at the bottom of the castle, and then they come together at the one point, and then it shoots a beam down.
It's kind of like that. Like it kind of makes like almost a cage, almost coming up from the walls of the pool up, and then as it reaches towards the chandelier, it coalesces at the chandelier, and then all of that like seems to like it sucks up all the electricity, so there's no longer electricity around you, and then it shoots it as a concentrated bolt into the handle of your hammer. There's a bright white flash, and as your eyes readjust, the wooden handle of your hammer, it still looks like a tree branch. You know, it's still got the roots that kind of wrap around the head. But it's almost as if the wood has been transmuted into cold iron.
Cold iron. What cold iron does it in this world still have natural like anti-magic properties?
It specifically has anti-fey properties. As you pick up the hammer, because you've gone through this little ritual, I will say you were already attuned. The Stormcaller Warhammer has two abilities.
Kill Faye!
When you crit, it will do an extra, because it does a D10 of damage if you're two-handing it.
Yeah.
It does an extra D10 of thunder damage.
Even if I'm one-handing?
Even if you're one-handed. And the creature you hit with it will have to make a strength saving throw or be knocked back 15 feet. And once per day, you can use it to channel the energies of the storm and cast Call Lightning.
Damn, that's pretty good.
And any Fey that you attack with it has disadvantage on those saving throws.
For being knocked back and
for the Call Lightning.
I would have to hit it first and then call lightning on it, or
no?
They
The
just
call
have
lightning is like it acts the same as the spell normally does.
Can I still cast Shillelagh on this thing, even though it's not wooden any longer?
I will say no.
Do you have a card for that you could send?
I will make one up and send it to you. Yeah.
Me. Okay. Thank you.
Well, he said make one up. He's just making things up? What the heck? Where's the official rules?
And I will say, as you like pick it up, like out of the water, it's got that kind of like what's the best way to describe it? You know how in the MCU, whenever like somebody moves like Mjolnir through the air, it's got almost that like metallic ringing to it. It does that.
Tyler wants to know your trope.
Spira?
What was that?
How's my connection to Spira? Because that was my holy symbol.
You don't feel any like lessening. And I will say, because you probably had like the symbol of the faith kind of carved
Yeah, it would have been on
into.
the head.
You see that that is still there, and that was probably like on the top of the head. On either side of the head now, there are two 4-pointed stars. One of which is colored in green for Spira. The other is it's like an inset emerald. The other is inset with sapphire.
And that's a magical item to which I am already attuned because I,
Correct.
you know, pretty content.
The Stormcaller Great Warhammer.
Is anyone else seeing this?
Oh yeah, you all see this light show go off, and when Thurberus brings his hammer out of the water, it is now all metal.
What's that? What happened? What?
It's part of my vision that I was given.
He's so nonchalant about it.
You guys aren't asking me anything. You're not like,
What was this vision that you saw? Care to share, or no?
Do I recognize the metal?
Like you'll tell me later. When we're
Goodfellow, you absolutely recognize the metal.
I am distrustful of this nature. I'm assuming it's because the followers of Burga, fought against Hell's armies. So they were just slaughtering satanic fae, or satanic goblins, and that's why it's good against fae.
Well, that's the thing.
I'd assume.
Um,
I'd hope.
On a mechanical term, the goblins that would have been making up the armies of the old Arabian Empire would not have had the Fey tag. They would have had a infernal, like a fiendish tag.
Oh, so this guy's just a dickhead. This guy just...
The
he's
fact
awful.
that this is essentially an anti-Fey weapon is strange.
sorry. So you said on a crit it deals an additional 1d10 of lightning. Is
Of
that
thunder.
of thunder? Sorry. Is that still doubled by the crit?
No, so that acts kind of like a brutal critical.
I would have to roll that even regardless of your max plus roll.
Correct.
Crit roll. Okay.
You said thunder.
Yes, thunder.
And then it's a
Strength save against. Is that against my spell DC or is it a flat number?
Considering the hammer is your spellcasting focus, yeah, I'll say it's your spellcasting DC.
and that's a strength save or
A strength save, yeah. It kind of acts like an individualized like thunderclap almost.
thunder and strength save for 15 feet.
Okay. And the other thing was call lightning.
Yeah, once per day.
Once per day. Once per long rest or once per day?
Once per long rest is essentially.
Okay.
She's kind of a fae. Does she know?
Hey, ancestry.
She might know of cold iron, but yes.
She wasn't born into it.
No.
She wasn't raised like I was.
Yeah, you have a much more
Intimate relationship.
intimate
with the
knowledge.
streets.
Though
The
I will say,
streets were
if
magical.
this was a gift from whatever deity he prays to, the spiders were giving off Fae vibes.
Yeah, but it's still weird. Because, like, you're like, oh, well, you killed them, so here's a weapon that's designed for killing them. They're already dead.
Like I said, somebody let him out.
All I'm saying is these guys.
That's another point of order too. The amongst like the singes and the ash from where the fungus burned away in the corners of the room, there's no evidence of any of the missing children at all.
I didn't say anything about missing children. Oh, I guess, yeah, they weren't taken by the spiders then.
What if the missing children are the spiders?
We just burned them to death, so...
And you killed them too. You killed them before you burned them to death.
Oh,
You killed
wait,
them, and then as they were coming back.
Missing children? Oh,
Yes.
I found those ages ago. I thought we were looking for lost children.
Now that I'm taking a closer look at Goodfellow, am I no longer convinced that he is also my half-sibling?
Give me another insight roll, and Goodfellow, you can give me another either persuasion or deception. This is going to be the running joke of the campaign. We're going to reach the last session, and Goodfellow's going to be like, listen, I got to tell you, I'm not actually your brother.
25.
11.
Like, he doesn't, you don't see any kind of family resemblance, but also, like...
I'm actually,
It's like the-
actually, I'm just gonna gaslight her. I'm gonna slightly change my appearance. So there's some, like, bits and bobs that are like, I could see it.
Okay, so, Feyre, you don't...
Nice. I'll be very accepting of him.
like,
Because, remember, he told me a little bit about his background story, and it seems like he kind of had a hard life, so I'll be very accepting of him as my brother. I'll welcome him into my new, expanding family.
I will say, Feyre, since you've
sell
woken
her
up...
crack DVDs.
Since you've woken up, and, like, you don't know if it's just something you never noticed before, and now just in context you're noticing it, Goodfellow does have very bright green eyes, like you and Kira have, and his hair, there is a bit of like while it's red, there is a bit of like a salt and pepper, like not salt and pepper, but like dark streaks that they just sleep in. And you're like, maybe there is a family resemblance.
Yeah.
Like, he does, like, it's hard because he has a beard, but he might have your dad's jawline.
You'll never know.
Dude, I'll never know, but I'll be kind to you. I'll be kind to you. Dude, that's my brother right there.
I love how you guys are all about the sibling thing and not like the whole I just summoned lightning in the middle of the room thing.
Well, the thing is, you're not divulging any information, so why should I?
I don't trust you anymore.
I was given a vision to cleanse this shrine.
And in that vision, did it include that you were gonna get this whole
I
lightning
have no idea.
Okay. Well, I guess I won't push it any further because I'm assuming since he's my teacher, he's gonna divulge a little bit later.
He's your teacher?
He is my teacher.
Mentor.
Teacher.
It's more like it's more like what's it called when you're in AA and there's that, like, your sponsor. It's kind of like that. Like, they're technically on the same level, but Thurber's has been in longer, so he kind of shows her the ropes.
I've been an alcoholic for way longer than you have. All right.
Yeah, Feyre's a spring chicken.
I didn't know that I was gonna have this. It's probably pretty heavy, right?
That's the thing. When you, like, pick it up in your hands, while the fact that the whole haft of the warhammer is now metal, it still seems like it has the same weight as if it, like, was still made of wood.
You know what that means?
I wonder if
Cheap.
you guys can lift it.
That's a cheap god you're praying to. I bet it's only cold steel or cold iron plated.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm kidding, I'm not. You would let me pick it up?
Yeah, I would let you pick it up.
Okay, then I want to try to pick it up.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
16.
16. The Thurgris kind of just places it so that like the head of the hammer is like resting on the ground and the haft is sticking up in the air, and you grip it, and you can't even budge it, like let alone lift it up out of like off the ground.
Not even if I pray to Volca? I'm kidding, I won't do that.
Well, would they have heard me say Volga's name?
How quiet were you
trying
saying it?
And also there was a bunch of lightning, so I feel like it's probably pretty easy to assume.
How quietly were you saying it? Did you like whisper it, or did you say it in a booming voice?
You know how in Pirates of the Caribbean, where I can't remember the character's name, but you know which one I'm talking about. He's like, you gotta, whisper it in your ear, so you gotta say it as if you were a lover scorned, or whatever the thing is, to like release Calypso. I would have done that. I would have been like, you can't hear that because I'm whispering and the mic doesn't pick it up, but I whispered it.
Okay.
He whispered it very longingly.
So you can give me a stealth check with advantage, and everybody else can give me or actually, I'll just go off of everybody's passive.
Passive perception.
Oh, that's not bad. 18.
I have a 19.
Well, I rolled a 19 to be fair. Nothing. I rolled a 19, but it's minus 1 for stealth, so 18.
Okay. And what's Farah's passive? 14. Yeah. So Farah, you didn't hear anything. Goodfellow, you absolutely heard him whisper Bolka as he placed the hammer into the pool before the light show happened.
Would I not know from like the drawings on the wall? And,
You can make the assumption. I'm just saying you didn't hear him say it.
Oh, I just didn't hear it.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
You just didn't hear me say it.
Okay.
Well, there would be no reason that a dwarf would care so much about cold iron. In fact, dwarves probably work with cold iron frequently, right?
It's a pretty rare material nowadays because it's not really needed that much.
Like elves don't know how to shape cold iron.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right.
Yeah, I'll fucking throw another rock at you.
I never said I was disgusted by it openly. Just internally, I am. I just recognize that it's cold iron. And maybe because I'm a dwarf. You don't know. Maybe it's because I look like a dwarf.
Okay, so time to leave, I guess. That was much easier than I was expecting it to be.
Oh, we already killed the spiders earlier, so...
Well, yeah, the spiders... There wasn't like a spider queen, and
Well,
maybe
out of the four of us, you're the only one that's not
maybe
my
we
sibling.
should go to the priest and be like there were no
that's
children.
true. I forget that Kira's here in the room also.
Also, yeah, we should be like, where's the rest of the children?
Yeah, let's go back to the cove. The whatever word you used for it was
Enclave.
Enclave.
The cove.
So you step out into the main sewer tunnel, and Farah, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
It's 7.
Okay. So you step out.
Wait, do clerics and paladins have the same saves?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but first she has charisma and wisdom on the sheet. Because I definitely have charisma and wisdom. And paladins have wisdom and charisma also. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that.
So you step out into the main hallway, And as you guys are kind of walking away from the this like secret tunnel, you start to hear like the trickling of water. And because these are like sewer tunnels, there's like a walkway on either side, and then the center of the tunnel is like essentially like a trench where the sewage would usually flow through. And they've been pretty like dry because it's been thousands of years since they've been used. You start to see a trickle of water moving through the trench, and then it gets a little bit more, and now the trench is full, and now you can feel water rising up your boots, and you start
we gotta go.
and you start freaking out because now like the water's rising, and now it's like up to knee level, and now it's up to like waist level. Thurber's and Goodfellow, you see Feyre freaking out.
Dude, chill.
Wait, they don't
What's
see
up?
it?
To you, they like look around shocked for a moment before being like overtaken by water.
Because we're shorter than you by like a foot and a half.
Yeah, but am I like imagining this, or are they actually like? I feel like I'm tripping right now.
What is she doing? Are you like flailing around? Are you just kind of standing there frozen, or what's the deal?
No, dude, I'm like fucking looking at you guys saying we gotta go. It's fucking the water's rising.
Goodfellow, give me a wisdom saving throw. As Feyre's standing there, like freaking out, behind her, you see like this quick snippet of movement. And then you kind of like try to look around her, and there's nothing there. And then you feel something moving up your back and hanging down.
Is what we asked about the ears thing.
Hanging down from the piping is what looks like, it almost looks like a serpent, right? Like it's got a long legless body like a serpent covered in scales, but the head is almost avian.
I don't know what that is.
And you make eye contact with it,
I know what that is.
and immediately you feel like your muscles tense, and you like look down at your feet and you see the bottom of, starting from the bottom of your boots, moving up to your knees, your legs start to turn to stone.
I would definitely try and run, which would probably make him fall over.
Yeah. You guys, Thurber's, you see, while Feyre's kind of freaking out, and like it's almost like she's like miming, like treading water. Goodfellow turns to like run, and it's almost like he's got like weights in his boots as he kind of like drags his feet and falls on his face. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to re-roll that.
Okay.
He's feeling not afraid.
23.
23. Okay.
If that doesn't pass, I don't know what to do.
So you're looking around at like the two of them freaking the fuck out. And Kira, you see, is kind of like looking like she's terrified. Like you see, like she's not like wailing, crying. She's kind of silent. Like you see tears streaming down her face. But
I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic.
on what?
I don't have to like pick a specific. Oh, choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
All magical effects. Yeah.
Automatic wins. Okay. So, have to pick a creature, object, or magical effect in range. I don't necessarily know that there's a magical effect going on or anything, right? So I wouldn't be able to just target in general cast a.
On the effect, like a general one? No, you would have to pick a target.
So you could be like.
I'm gonna be looking. I'm gonna be looking at Kira and Goodfellow, also struggling. And
Yeah, at this point,
I'm gonna tell you
like
to
you.
keep calm.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they are underwater.
At this point, you
Yeah,
are
right.
like up to your shoulders, and you are like trying to keep your head above it. Everybody else has disappeared. Like you see like bits of bubbles coming up from under the water, but they have disappeared beneath the waves. Thurber's.
I'm gonna try to dip my head underneath the water and see if I can see them.
I'm gonna cast.
I'm not gonna let them drown. I'm not gonna let them drown. Absolutely.
I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on Kira.
Okay. So, you
I
see...
was thinking about you, bro. Like, she's a wizard. Like, if there's fucking magic shit on, to be honest, no offense, you're not gonna be that helpful.
So you see...
You don't have your aura yet.
You see Kira freaking out and, like, calling out to you guys. To her, it seems like almost like you guys are not there anymore. Like, she is alone. And then you cast Dispel Magic on her, and you see that, like, this, like, glazed look kind of comes over her eyes before she kind of shakes it off and, like, coughs up a bunch of spores. And, Feyre, you go to stick your head under the water, and you're expecting to see, you know, the floor of the tunnel and your friends and everything. You put your head under the water, and it's like you're under the ocean. There's just an endless expanse of dark, murky water. Thurbrus, you kind of look around as everybody's kind of freaking out. You're trying to calm Kira down, and as you look further up the tunnel, you briefly see a, like, tall, probably like 8, maybe even 9 feet tall, like, hunched figure. All you can make out from the distance is that they have gray skin, or green skin, sorry. They have almost like their skull is like elongated, almost like a xenomorph, like not to that degree, but definitely conical. And they have like a mouth and pincers, but they also have like very long, exaggerated fey ears. And two sets of arms. They have a much longer set of like insectoid clawed hands, and then a smaller, like, frail set that are kind of like pulled close to the chest. And you see it kind of like up against the wall at the end of the tunnel, smile, and then disappear behind the edge of the wall. And that's where we're gonna end for tonight.
Ew, what the fuck?
Who's gonna cast Windwall on his ass?
What a little freak. Weirdo.
So,
Why are you drowning until next week?
Yeah. Sorry.
Speaking of which, we're playing on Friday night, yeah?
yes.
And okay. Could you guys do? I don't think that we can play on Sunday night because we're driving to. No, we should already be there at that point, right? Could you do Saturday instead of Friday?
Potentially, it would just be later because I get out at 6:30.
Okay.
We couldn't do earlier in the day Friday,
Do you
right?
work on Sunday the 7th? Or sorry,
Yeah.
that Saturday night or whatever.
Yes, I do work.
Um,
But it's mostly irrelevant though because I work fucking every day we play anyways. Unfortunately.
There's no way to play early in the day Friday, right? Because I'm probably taking Friday off.
I get off work at like 5:30.
I figured I'd shoot the idea out there.
I could, yeah, it would be like 6. Yeah. No, it should be fine. Okay. And then Sunday we should still be able to play, but we will be driving up to Rochester to see the eclipse. But we should have done that beforehand. So we should still be good, but you know, I don't know how the internet's going to be, etc., etc. So that's next Sunday.
Okay.
We should be fine. I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Okay.
But, you know, complications may arise.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
To those listening, absolute worst case scenario, if the stream doesn't end up happening, that's why. Shitty things happen sometimes.
Right.
We'll just leave Feyre drowning for one more week. To give context, that's what the intelligence saves were for. With the spiders. If you failed more than twice, or twice or more, you inhaled enough spores that you would be affected by
I had a feeling that those were going to do something.
some kind of link to the creature that was controlling the spiders.
I don't like that it smiled and then went back.
Well, you didn't see that. You're drowning.
Well, I still don't like that.
I mean, Thurber saw a somewhat look of it. If you wanted to give me one last roll, you could give me an Arcana. Probably Arcana would be the only one that would work in this scenario.
Me?
Yeah,
Sure.
because everybody else was freaking out.
I think probably an 11.
11.
Yeah, an 11 for Arcana.
Yeah, you got nothing.
And he's got nothing.
All right, so that is going to be Songs of Arddor for this week. We will pick this back up potentially next week, if not the week after, and see what happens next time. We'll be playing Curse of Strahd again on Friday, so we'll see if what happens to poor Ajate, and the second time that Leon has been nearly fried to a crisp really needs to stop happening.
Wow.
And so we will see all of you in the next one.
Bye bye.